I won't hang around. Let's go straight on. And Lydia, over to you.
Lydia can't make it today, so I'm just
Oh,
presenting on behalf. Sorry.
Okay.
So Lydia was going to reveal the results of the London Borough of Culture gardening competition. So the winner was Griffin Primary School. And this was part of the Elbock Primary. This is part of the Wandsworth London Borough of Culture, where primary schools across Wandsworth were invited to take part in a competition to inspire the next generation of eco-leaders while engaging the school and community, including parents, school councils, and PAs. The competition offered schools chance to bring sustainability to life, explore climate change mitigation and environmental action in a creative way, supporting Key Stage 2 learning objectives. They developed a beautiful, lasting space, fully funded with no cost to the school. And they worked with experts where they turned their gardening ideas into reality whilst minimising workload for teachers and staff. They celebrated community and creativity. So this was part of, as I said, Elbock, which contributed to a borough-wide celebration of sustainability and community action. So since working with them, they've begun to deliver their Griffin Green on site, as well as planning and delivering a celebration assembly and a programme of educational lessons and activities. And the garden will become a living classroom, supporting hands-on learning, helping students connect with nature and climate justice in meaningful ways and inspire future green initiatives. So you can see a bit about their plan here. So they had a bug hotel, a bee-friendly area, stepping stones, rainwater barrel, raised beds, grass, bench and path. And in terms of timeline, they started in October, November time with site visits and build out plan. And then in November, December time, they sourced the equipment, resources and volunteers. January, February, they began the build and delivery of the educational programme. And then in March, they were able to open the garden. So yeah, that's the Elbock gardening competition. So well done, Griffin School. I'll now hand over to Dan Baker.
Can we just find out, have we got anyone from Griffin here? Fantastic, thank goodness.
Hi, that's me.
What a shame it would have been if we hadn't had someone from Griffin here to celebrate it. So well done, it's fantastic.
Thanks, we're really excited about it.
Great.
Thank you.
Great. And hopefully we'll be able to come down and visit it at some stage.
Oh, 100%. Anytime you like, just drop us an email.
Fantastic. No, that's well done. Really, really pleased. Thanks. Sorry, Dan, I am interrupting. We got Dan?
I can share a bit if that's helpful.
Thanks, Rebecca.
Is there another slide? Yes. So the Clean Air School Accreditation Programme is a new way to help raise awareness of air pollution amongst pupils, parents, carers and the wider community. This was created with the Council's air quality team and the Wandsworth Air Quality Ambassadors. And as you can see, we have a bronze, silver and gold. And within each area, there is a certain amount of actions that need to be completed, all based around air quality, a lot of them linked to climate change and the environment as well. And we have one school that is a gold standard already. So achieving the accreditation is a way for schools to demonstrate their commitment to improving air quality, both within the school grounds and the surrounding area. And you can also take part in travel activities too, which can link to your active travel, which you may already be doing other ways or other programs. So yeah, here is an example of some of the activities. I know this looks like a lot of information, but it's a way to give schools lots of choice about what actions you can be taking and hopefully inspiration. and you just have to complete a certain amount within each area in order to get the bronze, silver and gold. And I know it's a lot of information as well. So I think there's a QR code, I think it was like 2 slides back. So you can find all the information through the QR code, and I can post that link in the chat as well. And the Wandsworth Air Quality team are always on hand to support and chat through this as well. So yeah, I'll send the link. And yeah, any questions, feel free to put them in the chat and I can send them on to the air quality team to get in contact with you, or yeah, I can put the email as well. Yeah, here is one of the schools in the borough already who have achieved the gold level accreditation, and we used in the trial. So yeah, it is achievable and manageable and something for lots of the kids to get involved with. I think that might be everything.
Thanks, Rebecca. How many schools have thus far started on the programme? Do you know?
I'm not 100%. It's very new, so I think it's about schools at the moment just working out how many they might have done already, how many they can do going forward. So yeah, I don't have those numbers unfortunately,
Sure.
but yeah, would encourage any schools to get involved in this.
No worries. And am I right in saying that St Mary's has got the gold accreditation?
I'm not 100% on this. Dan was going to present this. So
okay. No worries. So sorry to put
I'm
you
not
on spot,
100%, but it says online somewhere, but I know it's one in the borough.
No, fine, because I have a funny feeling that the mayor visited as well to as part of the recognition. So it's great.
I'll
so
see
yeah,
if I can find the news article on it and then send it in the chat.
No, thank you. But I mean, for schools present, I would recommend it. It's a really valuable program. So thanks, Rebecca. Any questions that anyone's got on that? Otherwise, over to Zdenka.
Hello, everybody. I'm a healthy school lead as Zdenka Buchan. I'm supporting schools with achieving another award, which is a Healthy School Award. So next slide, please. And today I will talk about a health-related questionnaire, which is a health questionnaire which got lots of different sections. If you click, sorry, next slide. I just want to show you. So the topics which we have, this is for secondary and primary school, and there are different health topics. So we would have questions around food and diet, smoking, drink and drugs, health and safety, emotional health and well-being, physical activity, leisure, growing up and internet and home. The COVID-19 is no longer a session for this 2026 questionnaire. It was the questionnaire which was run in 2022, but it's quite useful for schools to really understand the needs of their pupils in different areas of health. And obviously, for example, you linking it with their quality. So perhaps you might have questions around active travel, so you can find out how many children actively commute to your school, and one of the questions are around that area as well. We also have questions on environment, so what do children worry about? And actually in previous years, the 2022, we could see that younger children really do worry about environment. So I believe it's going to be another issue in this 2026 questionnaire, because we are talking more about environment. So there are certain questions which sort of link with air quality. If we go the previous slide, if we don't, yes. So what schools need to do, this is an anonymous borough-wide survey. Schools have about 4 weeks window to complete it. This is why we're bringing it a little bit early. So you as a schools have time to timetable the 1-hour session, which we need to complete this survey. There will be training in February time to show schools how to complete it, and we would really love every school to book by the 12th of December, so we know what numbers we've got. Next 2 slides, please. So what do you need to do? Just find out who might be responsible in your school for this questionnaire. It could be PSHE lead, it could be deputy head teacher, it could be your IT lead. You just need to allocate 1 hour, and pupils who can take part in primary schools in year 4, 5 and 6. Next slide, please. Why take part? It's a student's voice, it's a pupil voice. Again, this is really wide range of health questions about mental health, about surroundings, about safety, PSHE lessons as well. So when you get the data, there are questions on growing up. So it can inform your new curriculum, because we know RSHE guidelines have been introduced and need to be delivered from September onwards. So this would be really good data, baseline data for schools to use when they're planning their RSE and PSHE. It could go into your school improvement plan when you find certain areas which we need a little bit more improvement, for example. We also know Ofsted really likes pupil voice, so that means they really like when the schools do questionnaires like this, because they are wide about different health topics. Next, schools, thank you very much. Schools receive a report. It's going to be just going to your school. We do not get individual reports from schools. It's just for you. You'll get a top 10 findings from your report, and you will be compared to the other schools within the borough. This is quite useful because it's just your report and you know where you sit within the borough. But it's also helpful for us in local authority and for children's services to really understand what needs are there for our young people, and therefore we can commission and support. And I think next question, is there another one? Yeah. So I would really recommend all the schools to take part. We are quite ambitious. We want 80% of uptake from secondary and primary. I'm sure we can achieve it, because it's a very topical. It's a good time to introduce it as well, because there have been lots of new guidelines. This is just a lot of training we offer, and I'm going to link it back to this gardening, Griffin, you've done an amazing gardening there. We actually do a gardening club, gardening training. That's on the 9th of February. So any school who's interested in really finding out how to do gardening, please join on that one. It's a face-to-face, and we run it in Richmond, one of the Richmond schools. Cooking Without a Kitchen, that's run in All Farthing. Very helpful and useful training. It's learning, teaching children how to cook, but not using a DNT, using your own classroom with a sink. So it's very simple, and it just sort of breaks those barriers of schools not having enough space to cook or use the design and technology kitchens. We also have training on the school food toolkit, and that's more related to school food standards. So it's really helpful for any business managers when you're looking at your menus across your school day, making sure that they align with the school food standards. There's also, for early years, we do menu planning, because there have been new guidelines in the early years. That's really helpful. And then also healthy eating habits in early years. That is more of the educational part. So again, this is quite linked to your sustainability, because we're teaching children how to love fruit and vegetables. So through taste ed, through exploring different option for food effective life. So that's training. The healthy eating habits is more about education and more about different educational tools you can use. And obviously there are other training on PSHE, etc. So next slide, I think that's the last one. That's it. So any questions in terms of healthy eating or anything which I've talked about, do contact me. Zdenka Buchan, thank you.
Many thanks, Zdenka, and we were just talking at the beginning of the meeting actually about the head teacher meeting, and a head saying how useful they found participating in the health-related behaviour questionnaire. So really recommend that for schools to take up. Okay, any other questions on that, or move on? Is Lindi?
Thank you. Hello, I'm Lindi Louw, and I am the school travel advisor for both Wandsworth and Richmond councils. Today I'm just going to chat really briefly to you about both our travel plan program and also our school streets program, in case you don't know about them yet. Some of you may already be part of these programs, and hopefully you're seeing the benefits that they bring. A travel plan is a living document. It records everything that a school does, or a nursery, to encourage sustainability relating to active travel to school. It's amended and updated on a regular basis, usually annually, and we currently use the TfL Travel for Life portal. It's a template for schools to be able to log into. They upload all their information, and this makes the process really easy for developing and also for monitoring the travel plan. The aims of a travel plan are mostly obviously relating to reducing that single occupancy travel to school, especially for pupils by car. In turn, this obviously reduces the vehicle movements outside the gates, improves road safety as a result. And in the wider context, we're also aiming to improve air quality through that reduction of vehicle exhaust fumes being released right outside the gates, where we can find the highest concentrated pupils, and also we know that they are the most vulnerable to these emissions. Signing up, the process for signing up is really simple. You would just email me. You can see there is a stp@wandsworth.gov.uk email address at the bottom of the slide. Just pop me a line and I will send you a link to get yourself accredited or get on the accreditation program. And I will help you through the stages of submission. I'll help you with uploading your applications. I will help you with what to do. We'll do training on how the site works, etc. And we'll have regular calls to keep track. You'll undertake a hands-up travel to school survey for staff and pupils, so we understand what the types of levels are of travel to school and for the different modes. And you'll also set targets which will help you steer the outcomes that you want from your travel plan. It's not too late to join. The accreditations run until mid-July when they need to be submitted, so we've got plenty of time to still get stuck into that if you're interested. There are 3 levels of accreditation. Similar to the healthy schools, we have bronze, silver and gold, and as is expected, obviously bronze, silver and gold need a little bit more for each level to be able to achieve that accreditation. All schools will also work with us and do the hands-up survey and the targets, as I mentioned previously. And you'll probably find that many of the things that you're already doing, like your curriculum work, your school trips, communicating with parents, these are things that all count towards your travel plan in various guises. So a lot of the work you're doing already counts, and it's just a case of jotting it down and making it official. We currently already have 20 gold schools in Wandsworth, so we'd love to get more. Benefits of the travel plan, so quite numerous. Obviously, I mentioned improving road safety. That's probably the key benefit outside the school. Also reducing that car congestion around the school too, which improves air quality. But there's also some free resources that you can use and lesson plans with plenty of content. These all support the national curriculum. It's an Ofsted enrichment program as well. There are incentives along the way, so competitions that you can feed into. I recently held a small grants opportunity and also secondhand bike market opportunity, but we will be doing those again in April when funding is released again. And then TfL hosts an annual Top Schools Award for the hardest working schools in London, and that's a great event for pupils to attend. Then we have life skills. It promotes life skills for the children. They get involved in assemblies. They can get involved in poster competitions, peer-to-peer led projects. So they get they get some skills on public speaking or leadership. And also for the staff, you can put this in towards your career development plans as well. Then there's well-being benefits. So these will be, we all know the benefits of physical exercise on people's health and on their well-being, and obviously walking, cycling, scooting to school helps with that. We know that this focuses the children's minds when it gets them ready for the day, and many schools are trying to focus on this too. So another thing it links into is the healthy streets, the healthy schools, which you heard about earlier, and the Clean Air School Accreditation program as well, which was also spoken about earlier. These 3 work quite well together. There's a support team to help you myself, I can answer any questions and obviously have those regular catch-ups. And TFL also have online drop-in seminars from time to time, which you can feed into. And then anyone can benefit from a school travel plan. So I work with all schools from independents, local authorities, SEN, Free Faith Academy, and all age groups, all the way from nursery right through to sixth form. So if you're interested, please do drop me a line on the sdp@wandsworth.gov.uk email address, and I'll happily start that process with you. So the next slide is just about school streets. And my colleague Raphael Younger, he runs this program. I run it for Richmond, he runs it for Wandsworth, but I'm just going to chat to you a little bit about it as I'm here. School Street, if you don't already know, is where we close one or two roads surrounding the school temporarily to motorised traffic, and this is just during those peak school times at the beginning and end of the school day. Residents and businesses within that school street will retain their vehicular access, but other motorised traffic, apart from a few exemptions, is largely reduced. Currently, there's over 600 throughout London, more nationally, and we have 29 in Wandsworth, which serve 31 schools and nurseries. You may be one of those already. The aims and benefits of the school street are very much like those for the travel plan, and the travel plan is a great support tool for a school street. So if you have a school street, I will probably be in touch with you quite shortly to start working on a travel plan if you're not already doing that. But again, as I mentioned, for travel planning, it improves road safety at the school gates, reduces congestion and parking concerns, which in turn then creates better accessibility for those people that really do need to get to the school gates, your blue badge holders, one card holders, etc. Reducing idling vehicles because the parents are no longer entering that section right outside where the pupils are, and it creates a more pleasant journey to school. It enables the parents to walk, cycle and scoot to school, which reinforces promotion of active travel and prioritises safety and convenience to allow that active travel. And then, of course, again, increasing the physical activity for the children so they arrive ready to learn. Application process, again, very simple. You can just email my colleague Raphael at schoolstreets@wandsworth.gov.uk. We will then review the location of your school. We'll look at the feasibility and what sort of design we need to work with. And then we'll arrange a meeting to discuss the process and the next steps with you in more detail. And that process is really 3 stages. So we go through a pre-trial consultation, which will be an online consultation. We have a drop-in session and a pop-up session for parents and residents to come to the school and ask us questions and voice their concerns. And then we go through a trial if it's agreed that we'll get to that stage. This is always done experimentally under an experimental traffic order, which means that we can amend things as we go. We also reopen that consultation. So for the first 6 months, people are once again invited to give us their feedback, but this time on a live scheme so they can see the impacts as they're happening. And we also do some monitoring. So we do 2 sets of monitoring, pre-trial, and also again, after that 6-month trial is up, we do another set of monitoring so we can compare the data. We run traffic counts in the surrounding streets and obviously the school street itself. And we ask the school to do the hands-up surveys pre and post. And then all that data we collect, as well as the feedback that we've got from the consultations. And that's what we use as the basis for our decision on whether that school street is then made permanent, amended or tweaked in any way, or whether we just remove it, it's not working. Currently in the borough, we have 3 types of school streets. There's a signage only scheme. That's really for sort of smaller locations, cul-de-sacs, one-ways. And then we have a sort of a mid-tier type, which is the volunteers and staff or barriers or just barriers. And that just depends on schools resourcing if they can resource parent volunteers or staff to operate barriers. And then the sort of larger schemes have what we call automatic number plate recognition camera enforcement. And this is where a camera will enforce fines for any contraventions into the school street during those operational hours. Exemptions, as I mentioned, were given to residents and businesses, and they're also given to blue badge holders and one card holders, healthcare workers and taxis, and then emergency vehicles are obviously allowed access to. And then benefits of a school street apply to all schools now. We first prioritised these for the primary schools. We felt that they were probably the most vulnerable pupils, especially those that are transitioning onto more independent travel and getting ready for secondary. But now that we have over 51% of our primaries with School Streets, we're now extending that invitation to the secondaries and the independents as well. So if you feel that your school is something, that School Street is something that your school can benefit from, or if you have any further questions, you can contact my colleague on School Streets at wandsworth.gov.uk. And for more information, just Google Wandsworth School Streets and you'll come up with our webpage, and there's a whole frequently asked questions on there, and that should be able to give you some information too. So please do get in touch if you're interested. We'd love to work with you. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Thank you, Lindi. And it sounds like there's loads of support available, both for the school travel plans and for the School Streets. So
yeah, definitely.
So do reach out, colleagues, if you need that. Any questions for Lindi before we move on? Okay. No? Okay. So Emily, over to you.
Thanks, Andy. Hi, everyone. I'm Emily. I work in the Climate Change and Sustainability team at Wandsworth Council. So I just wanted to talk a bit about our climate action microgrants for schools. We've recently created a few video case studies, so I thought it'd be nice to share the impact that the microgrants have had on a few schools. So I'll just play the first one. So those are just a few ideas of microgrants that we've had in the past. Yes, Georgina's at hand. Oh, yeah, so if you have an idea of a project that you'd like to apply for but want to run it past me, feel free to email me. My email's just on here. And if you do have an idea and would like to apply, just search Climate Action Microgrants and the page will come up on our Wandsworth Council website.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Sorry, does anyone have any questions on the microgrants?
No, I was just going to say, if you haven't applied for it, and you're in a school, apply. It just makes no sense not to apply. That was fantastic. Thank you, Emily, for sharing those, because those are really great. Really give a good taste of what they can achieve. Zdenka?
Can I just ask on the microgrant, what sort of application? Is it just an email? Is it a long application, short? What do they need to do?
It is a form that they need to fill out, just giving details of the project, a cost breakdown if possible, explaining what the funds will be used for, when the project will start, who will be involved, that kind of thing.
Perfect, thank you.
That's okay. Okay, I'm doing this slide as well, Andy. Should I just carry on?
Yeah, go for it.
cool. So this is on the Western Riverside Waste Authority, and they are currently offering schools free tours. And this is for Key Stage 2 and Key Stage 3 plus. And this is for schools in Lambeth, Wandsworth, Kensington, and Chelsea, Hammersmith, and Fulham. And this is approximately an hour and 30 minutes long, and up to 30 students at a time. So yeah, if you're interested in this, I would encourage you to email Western Riverside Waste Authority at education@wrwa.gov.uk. Our team recently went there for a tour, and it was really educational. I would definitely recommend it, and it's just a good insight to see how our waste is dealt with in the borough. So very educational. So if there are any questions, I'll move on to the next one.
I do just also want to advocate for those tours. Hi everybody, I'm Emma from Waste. They are really, really excellent. They were on pause for a little while they were rebuilding the education team. So if your team hasn't had a chance, or if your school hasn't had a chance to do one of these tours yet, it's a really good opportunity to dive in.
Thanks.
Thank you. Next is Little Village. So many of you, I'm sure, have heard of Little Village already, but they do some really amazing work, and they're currently running their Winter Warmers Appeal. So they collect clothing, secondhand clothing for children aged 0 to 6, and yeah, basically so they can keep warm throughout the winter months. And they're currently running low on a few items. So they're asking schools to host donation drives and help out in any way they can. So they're looking for warm blankets and bedding, coats and pram suits, pajamas, boots and weatherproof shoes, and snuggly clothing and socks. So yeah, if you know that you can help, you can also look at their website, which is littlevillagehq.org/schools. And if you know of a child that might need help as well, you can direct them here and they'll have more information. And the final item is just on our schools hub. Just a reminder that it's there really, and that we regularly update it with climate news and resources and initiatives available to schools. So if you haven't seen that, please check it out. Thank you.
Thanks, Emily. And am I right in saying also that these meetings, the recordings of these meetings are posted there?
Yes, yeah, that's
Is that
correct.
right? Yeah. So if you missed it, if you weren't able to come here at the beginning of the meeting, do catch up if you want there, and also the previous meetings, because there's so much fantastic information, thanks to colleagues in the various departments. Any further questions or queries or anything that anybody wants to raise? No, great. Well, thank you for colleagues for contributing so much, and we got it through in whistle-stop time. So thank you, but a huge amount of information and support for schools to take advantage. So if you're a school colleague, do please take advantage and contact colleagues who are offering these fantastic programs and initiatives, and do apply for a microgrant if you haven't already. I saw Henny here actually, so I don't know, Henny, do you want to have a quick plug of the LBOC grants? Is Henny still here?
I'm still here. It's quite noisy in the office. There's loads of different meetings happening, so I don't know if you can hear me okay.
That's fine. I just thought we've got a couple of minutes, so
Yeah.
if you want to just quickly say something.
A rival microgrant opportunity to the climate one. But yeah, as part of London Borough of Culture, we've got school microgrants as well, which is similar format where you apply for funding to support a project in your school, but rather than a climate initiative, this is celebrating creativity, culture, heritage, and the arts, and these are open until the end of March next year, and you can apply for up to £750. So please do get in touch if you have any questions. The best email is creativewandsworth@wandsworth.gov.uk, and I should say this is just for Wandsworth schools, not Richmond. Sorry if anyone from Richmond is here. But yeah.
And presumably, if you're being really creative, you could combine an LBOC one with a climate one if you were
Absolutely, yes.
so
We did,
inclined.
that would be great. Then you could have a total of £1,250
Yeah,
of
so-
free money coming your way.
So,
So yeah.
isn't that fantastic? Thanks, Zdenka.
Can I just ask about the visits to the waste? I forgot the name, sorry.
The recycling.
That's
centre, yeah.
right. Is it for Richmond as well, or is it just for Wandsworth? That's what I wanted to find out.
Just Wandsworth.
Just Wandsworth. Brilliant. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay. All right, colleagues. Any more for any more? Otherwise, it just remains for me to say, Daniel.
Hi, thanks, Andy. Yeah, hi, I'm Dan Baker. I'm an air quality officer for Wandsworth Council. Just wanted to apologise. I had a few technical issues, so I was a little bit late. But Rebecca, thank you for presenting Clean Air School accreditation. Yeah, if there's any schools that are interested in the accreditation programme, then do please get in touch. I also work for Merton, which is why there is a Merton email address on there, but it will get to me. And also just to say the air quality team, they offer free services. So we've got workshops which we can deliver to schools. So we can come in on a convenient day for you. We'll deliver the workshop. It's about air pollutants. So we focus on particulate matter and nitrogen dioxide. We look at ways to reduce exposure. And then we talk a little bit about idling as well. We also complete air quality assessments. So again, we can visit schools on a convenient day. We'll do some air quality monitoring using our monitoring equipment. We'll look at the heating infrastructure. We'll do a travel count, and then we'll go away and we'll create a report, and we'll give you recommendations on how we think you can improve air quality around the school site. And we also deliver idling action events as well. So we're always wanting students' help with that, where we encourage drivers to switch off their engines when they're outside of the schools to try and reduce pollution around the school site. Okay, and that's it. So yeah, please do get in touch. There's the email address there. If you want to get involved in the Clean Air School accreditation, there's more information on the website, and you can scan the QR code or follow the link. Super. Thank you, Andy. Cheers.
Brilliant. Thanks, Dan. That's really helpful. Great. All right, colleagues, if there's nothing else, it just remains to say thank you so much for everyone who's presented. Thank you for those attending, and have a great evening.
Thanks all. Bye.
See you soon.
Thanks all. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.